The sun is shining here again. This is actually really exciting. It's honestly rained for pretty much all day for over 2 weeks now, hasn't it? There's only been tiny little brief spells, so looks good this morning. We've actually got the sun.
Spell, we literally run to the car with all our flip-flops and bikinis on, and then you're like...
Well, yeah, we'll try, but often like there's not even that much time because you look at the clouds and there's just a small gap in between the thick clouds.
We're literally like, stop everyone, drop what you're doing, run to the beach.
We're like cats. You know how cats will always find just a slither of sunlight, won't they, to lay in?
Yeah, well we went yesterday and it was really windy and the clouds had come over and then you were like freezing cold and felt like you were naked.
Yeah.
And then the sun would come out and then it's really hot.
I don't know what that is about that, but like basically you could be wearing swimming stuff and then as soon as a cloud goes over then you're like, why have I got no clothes on?
If I went down and I went look over there at that man walking his dog on the beach, I said he's got a raincoat on and a scarf.
Yeah, that's
I'm lying
hilarious.
here in my bikini.
It's kind of always been like that though, anytime we're in, you know, hot places.
But
We've been here for a long time now though, but still like, we're not really wearing clothes like that.
Not really. I mean, when we go to the mountains, it's freezing.
Yeah, true. True, it is cold there. Nana's making some sort of different breakfast.
Yeah, usually we'll have like a grain or like a pseudo grain, I think that's what it's called. Like buckwheat. But today I've been making some kind of a Mexican bean bowl. It's got tofu, 2 types of beans. I just added chickpeas because I realised there wasn't enough for me, Karma and Koa. And then I've also added carrot and lots of smoked paprika and coconut oil. And then you guys spotted in the cupboard what Mum said we could have.
What, you're having that for breakfast?
I mean, that's what Mum said we could
Oh my
have.
goodness, is it your birthday?
I know, Cara and Koa are going to be so excited. They came
I
in
feel
the
like
kitchen,
if I said
they
that to
covered it
Mum,
up.
I wouldn't even dream of thinking I could have those for breakfast.
Yeah, of course you can.
Wow.
Have what you like.
Okay,
You have
amazing.
chocolate and cupcake for breakfast, like they did at Valencia.
No, I don't really want chocolate and cupcake, but I'm actually
healthy,
really,
right?
I'm kind of getting, I think I'm getting influenced by you. I fancy savoury breakfast a lot of times now. Like I have always kind of alternated. Like I have avocado on toast, I have scrambled tofu, or I'll have like a yogurt bowl. But I don't know, having this I'm definitely,
I'll actually make
it's probably just because I haven't eaten yet, so maybe I'm like, you know, getting
I feel
tempted.
like I should make a little bit of guacamole to go with it. That would be really good.
But yeah, that smells really nice. What made you come up with that idea?
I've been having this for lunch, not with the tortillas or anything, but I've been having this for lunch for a while because I don't know. I just made the tofu like once and it's just plain tofu, like kind of fried with beans, and I realised it's really good. And I wanted it because I had that with avocado and toast. I wanted it to be more of a full lunch, so I added beans. But we also have leftover rice in this as well.
Yeah,
It's
it looks like quite a mixture. Yeah. That tofu's really good. That's really creamy. That stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really delicious.
Yeah, because I had a block of that just like raw before I had my yogurt bowl yesterday morning.
Like what I remember halloumi
Started off with
tasting
that.
like a very mild, sort of creamy cheese.
Yeah.
So it's a very good substitute.
Yeah, halloumi isn't really like cheesy, is it?
Yeah.
Like it's not smelly, is it?
No.
Not like that smelly cheese.
No, but do you know what I've been finding since I've been having savoury breakfast? I feel way more fuller for longer, more satiated.
I don't know if that's savoury or if that's just protein.
I think I'm having probably more protein and then also having an avocado.
Because I've
every
always
morning.
noticed that protein, but then obviously if it's protein like in the form of tempeh or something where you've actually got to chew it and digest it, is different to just protein powder. But even then, if you have something without protein powder, like if you have a smoothie without protein powder or you have one with, it keeps you way fuller longer if you've got protein powder in it, doesn't it?
Especially have fats to keep you fuller longer.
Yeah.
So I'm having avocado every morning for breakfast and that's been making me feel like...
No, that looks really nice what you're having.
Yeah, should I
Now
make it for you this
am I
morning?
going to have...
Can I make it for you this
I'm like,
morning?
hang on, I'm like, am I going to have your breakfast? Or am I going to have your breakfast? I don't know.
I better turn it off now.
Because this is my favourite, you know I love Mexican. While me and Mum were away, I was having breakfast burritos.
Yeah, I know
At the
when you
restaurant.
said that, I was like, oh, that sounds like a
Yeah, no, they were
amazing
really
breakfast.
nice. They were really amazing. Hopefully, I never took any photos, but hopefully Mum's got a close-up video clip or a photo of my burritos.
Yeah, I've got
Just in terms of how they were chopping up all those things really tiny and adding all those extra
I don't
things
think I have
in.
a close-up, but it was like a nutritionist /chef designed it so each meal you had while you were eating out, all of, you know, say 13 different varieties of vegetables a week or fruit. That's what they were including in the meals. I don't know if I said this on Snap.
Did it say that on the menu or something?
No, but I can just tell the attention.
Right,
to
yeah, because that's
detail.
what I thought. I didn't know if it said it.
But it looks colourful and it adds
We need
texture
to
and
look
flavour.
up what is our closest honest greens
To take all the kids.
to take all the kids
Wow, we
to.
must
Yeah.
really love it.
yeah.
It
we
probably
do.
is Valencia, it's not Madrid. No, I reckon it might be Madrid.
Yeah.
Madrid might be the closest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, that's still really, really
Yeah.
insanely far away then, isn't it?
Let's just get a plane.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Jokes.
Paying for a restaurant.
Yeah. Fly all the way there.
Good restaurant.
Fly all the way there, have dinner, and then just fly home. How's the puzzle going, Carms? Oh, you're doing some bracelets again now, yeah?
Yes.
I just got a really good idea.
Go on.
I thought I have to say about it, but for like someone's birthday, we should like get in contact with like one of the chefs or something and get them to do. You know how we did that before for Sienna's birthday? We had a private chef.
In Mexico.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah.
We could do that for someone's birthday.
But the thing is, it's
Yeah,
Put
but
the
that-
idea out there. I would
There
really
isn't a
like that.
chef. It isn't a chef, it's like one of those restaurants where you pay at the till.
Yeah.
There's a huge row of like team members, chefs.
And they're all doing one bit each. It's almost like Subway, in a way.
Oh wow.
But you sit down and
But you sit down, but basically you order and pay in advance. So it's like actually fast. I mean, all the food comes within like a few minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, but yeah, it's super
So
healthy.
is it like disassembled and then they assemble it then?
I guess so, yeah. Yeah.
Is it kind of like that one we went to in New York then?
What-
Remember how it, but it was kind of like a similar concept where you had all the food out and then they
Oh, I know
served
that
up
organic
there
place.
and
Yeah,
then-
yeah.
And it changed.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Where they've just got loads of pots of everything already pre-chopped up. So one person is just doing their role of chopping all of their bits. That's how it could have so much stuff in
Sorry,
it.
it's so hard to take you seriously with your green moustache.
Oh, I've got a green moustache. My matcha.
I love going on here, but I'm about to come on my period.
Oh, we've got the new trampoline delivered.
I know, we need to open that up.
Yeah, we do.
I can't wait, so we're going to have two.
We're going to have two.
Yes.
Wow.
But do you know what, when you're about to
And
come
but
on
the
your
other one
period-
is like an upgraded brand as well. The other one is actually the highest. Like if you look up what is the best rebounder, because that's what we did, and we found, I think it was the Times article, something. But basically every single comparison all puts this new rebounder that we've got as number one. It's mega expensive, but it's apparently the best in the world.
This is a cheaper one, this one's more pricey, so.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, I'm about to come on my period basically, and like going to the gym lifting heavy weights, last thing I feel like doing, but just jumping on here is really nice. It's just the right sort of thing for it.
Yeah.
Because it's giving me some energy and it helps your circulation. By the way, I learned something last night. I read recently, I'll keep carrying bags this way, Dr. Mindy Pell's book, Fast Like a Girl. It's not
Is
just
it on the
about-
bookshelf?
Yeah, it's not just
Let
about
me have a look.
fasting.
I'll see if I can
It's
find
also
it.
about our hormones and our cycles.
Sorry, Georgie, I was going to see if I could find the book to actually show everybody, and I can't. Yeah, spotted it. There we go. That's the book that Georgie's on about. I'll try and put that back one-handed without smashing it all up. Okay, go on. Everybody knows
It's
what
not
book
just
you mean
about
now.
fasting, it's about female cycles, and I've learned so much about my body as a female. It's literally life-changing. It's also surprising about how little we know about our bodies. I learned so much from her. She's an amazing woman. She's a holistic doctor, practitioner, I don't know what the official term is, but she's helped thousands of women.
So you watched the Diary of a CEO
podcast of her,
didn't you?
and
Yeah.
it solidified everything I read in the book. But I definitely recommend read the book and watch that podcast. Amazing. And what's the name of the guy in Diary of the CEO? So I forgot.
Stephen Bartlett.
Stephen Bartlett was just saying about how he learned so much and it was really good for him.
Yeah.
So if you're interested in fasting, or if you've heard about fasting and you're worried about that it might be bad for women, she knows about all the different types of fasting for everything. You can even reset your dopamine levels, you can reset your gut, you can do a 24-hour fast, resets the gut because it puts all the stem cells straight into your gut. You can heal it from loads of things. Then you can do like the daily intermittent fasting. There's a fat burner fast for people who literally have got stuck and they can't lose weight. Like there's all different fasts in it. She also tells you when and when you shouldn't fast. She's nailed it. And And then she talks all about the female cycle and what to eat and how to train and how to fast around it. It's amazing. So even if you don't want to fast, I definitely recommend reading that book because it just taught me so much about my body. It's incredible. But yeah,
Yeah, because all the, like, we've learned about fasting a lot over, I mean, to be honest, it's not really something we study particularly now because we learned about it like 13 years ago or whatever. Implemented it and then just moved on from there. But what's good, what you're saying, is that there's actually stuff which is female focused now rather than
Men.
yeah, all of the things, all of the books are written by men and they only thought about men's bodies with
men's
regards
bodies are
to
completely
men's
different.
hormonal cycles.
Women aren't small men. Men basically have a daily cycle, women have a monthly. We're completely different.
Yeah.
Men are basically black and white. This is generalising, but men's bodies, black and white, really easy to understand and read. Women's are really complex. So you actually have to
Sorry,
learn
George, I
about
just want to have a little check-in with breakfast. Co's studying it. Does that look good, Co?
Like it? Mm-hmm.
Nice. Lovely. What do you say to Nena?
Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome.
But I can't remember why I started talking about the podcast, but I watched that last night in bed. I've got a nice herbal tea, and I thought, well, I'd done all my work, so I thought I'm just going to go and watch a podcast. And I put a big thick castor oil mask on my face, and it was just really relaxing getting to do that, but learning at the same time and listening to two really good people talking.
Yeah. No, he's done a few good ones, actually. Because basically, what I think about his podcast is it's super mainstream, isn't it? So he like brings all of the ideas in a really accessible
He
way.
asks good questions.
Because there was another good one, the toxicologist, who basically
I was gonna watch that one as well.
who spoke about everything to do with what we've mentioned in our house, like air fresheners and using plastic.
Dr. Mindy
Microwave
talked about that as well.
boxes, and you put it in the microwave and all that sort of stuff. So if it sounds like hard to get your head around and like way too extreme, I think it's good to actually sit down and watch a thorough podcast about a topic, because that's the thing, it's really easy. We make our minds up on things, like, I don't know, just say for instance rebounding, trampolining. Like, oh yeah, I watched a 30-second reel saying how bad it is for the body. And then you make your mind up. Like, what a load of rubbish. I don't think anybody should make their mind up on anything until you've watched multiple hours of stuff from both sides of the perspective. So watch like multiple hours of people saying how rebounding is bad, and then watch multiple hours of people saying rebounding is good, and then make your own mind up.
I mean, humans do
That's
a
the
lot
only
of
way you
things
can
that-
make a valid decision on things and
But
give you
also-
more things to then research.
Never forget about actually you should go inwards for answers
Yeah.
and questions, not outwards.
Yeah.
If you can't make a decision in life about anything and you're confused, just push everything away, all that information you're getting, and actually just sit there and go inwards and ask yourself something. That's the only true way you're ever going to get the right feedback. And your feedback might at first be a bit confused because you like had so much information, you're so lost. But once you start like going from your own personal experience and like experimenting with
Intuition.
yourself and intuition, that's the best way to do it. There's too much noise.
Think about
out
where the
there.
information comes from as well. Like, oh, there's a particular study what says rebounding's bad. I mean, there isn't, but just say there is. Who paid for that study? Is it somebody who sells an alternative product? So therefore, they want that particular outcome. Like, you have to think about so many things like that. And then just using common sense of like, were our bodies made to move, or were they made to just sit on a sofa all day? Were, are convenience stores on every corner natural, or, is it unnatural? So therefore, would we are our hormones set up to have a fed state and a fasted state? Just common sense as well.
Well, Dr. Mindy, she does talk about all toxins and everything. She got quite upset about it. She's like, we live in a world where it's so crucial, like it's really, really bad, the toxins. She used to talk about phtalates, how they're in everything, like BPAs. It's just lowering testosterone levels in men. But she was talking about all these different things. She got really emotional. She was like, I know it's overwhelming. I know it is.
I don't even think it's just lowering testosterone. I think it is actually like feminization of men, isn't it?
Well, basically,
So
she was
many
talking
things.
about loads of different things. And she was saying, yeah, it is overwhelming, but if you want to be able to survive thrive in this world and actually be healthy, and that you have to take these new steps.
Yeah,
like,
you can't just bury your head in the
There's a
sand.
new way that we have to live now with all the toxins, and some
Yeah.
people find it like extreme or that, but when you first start learning about it, you feel overwhelmed, but then you can implement it more easily, but you have to take a step at a time. That's why I reckon you should listen to that podcast,
Yeah.
because she does even cover that as well.
Well, when you break it all down anyway, it's not complicated at all. It's just breathe oxygen, so open your windows, it's just get sunlight,
Have
it's
you
just
ever
put your
gone-
feet on the ground, it's just move,
How
it's
about
just
when you
eat
first-
natural foods.
It's like when you first go and have tennis lessons, like you don't know how to play
Like all the
tennis.
terminology and stuff as well,
Or
yeah.
like when you first start uni and you're learning a new...
Should I turn that
A
down?
little bit, yeah. When you start...
I
that
just
one's
realised
gone a
we're
bit
really
loud.
shouting, aren't we?
When you start uni, you're learning a new subject, you're reading a new book, and you're like, you've got to analyse the book and all the themes and the symbolism, and you're like,
Yeah.
what is this? Like, yeah, things are meant to... It's actually normal, like your brain is not meant to understand everything you do. There is like a learning process.
Yeah, there's a
But
curve,
you've got to
exactly.
want it enough.
I actually
Do
find
you
that quite
want to
exciting. When I
live a
come
more
across a
healthy
new
life?
area of something that I know nothing about, and all of the terminology is just complete nonsense to me and it means nothing, I find it quite exciting to try to commit to it until I understand it,
Yeah.
or, you know, as best I can understand it. So yeah, just approach things from that angle. But yeah, there's some good podcasts on Diary of a CEO, isn't there?
Yeah, there's even one by the Glucose Brothers as well, which I've recently read that book.
Yeah.
So I want to watch that one because it solidifies things. I think always read the book first, then watch a podcast of the person. That's a good way to, you know, like how people say, read the book before you watch the films. If not, the film can ruin your interpretation of the book when you're
Right,
reading
yeah,
it.
because you're then picturing the characters that the film made you see
Yeah, you're not
rather than your
yeah.
imagined ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing to do. It's like, you know, the story, like the films change the storyline, don't they?
Yeah.
Like that.
But and also get information from varied sources as well. Like
Yeah.
if that lady is teaching people about fasting, it's then also good to listen to some other people and their perspectives on it as well.
Yeah, but maybe me and the
To
girls
form your own opinion.
can make another video or something about what we've learned about our period cycles, and like we can try and make a video more about that, couldn't we, girls? We can make it kind of entertaining as well, because we could do like the avatar of each cycle, each part of your cycle, couldn't we, and show what's like typical, stereotypical, like where you are at that cycle and what things are good for it and what things aren't. That would just be really good.
Can you remember when we were staying in the desert before? I think maybe it was Joshua Tree. And you did a video called like the top 10 pregnancy
Yeah.
struggles or something, wasn't it? Or top 8
Yeah.
or something like that. And that was basically like a bit of a sketch, wasn't it?
Yeah, so rather than us just showing like, oh, when it's your period, someone's like, oh, it's my period, we can actually like give you some solutions for it as well, couldn't we, girls?
Yeah.
That'd be really good, because there's some foods which are really, really good, can help you move, some things that can't, some activities which you should avoid. Like maybe some of you, when it's coming up to your period, you might not feel like talking to anybody, or you might want to be on your own and you might feel like, is there something wrong with me? But actually those feelings are normal. Like it's, once you understand yourself, then you can work with it much better.
I need you to teach me all this as well, just so I know what's coming up, so it doesn't like throw me off course every time. And I'm like, I don't understand what's happening, like, and then
Well,
so.
Dr.
if you-
Mindy did say something.
What I need,
before.
I need like an LED like warning indicator on the wall where it's just like saying exactly what the current stage is.
Well, hopefully we sync up, because if we don't, me and Sienna and Karma. But no, Dr. Mindy said it is good to take personal responsibility for your moods.
Right.
And that one way to do that is to understand it. Because I used to feel like every time my period was coming up, it was something that I wasn't in control of. Like
Yeah.
obviously your hormones, you technically can't control them, but you actually can help them out a lot by doing certain things and not doing certain things. So in a way you are kind of in control, but I think it's a mental thing as well.
Is it a bit like how our, lifestyle can have a big influence
Yeah.
on our health outcomes?
Yeah, it's just because the world is set up in a cycle for men's bodies, not women's.
Yeah.
Like men do Monday to Friday, weekends off. That's like fed and fasted for work.
Yeah.
Their bodies can work really well with that. But ours, because ours is a monthly cycle, it should technically be like 2 weeks hard work, 2 weeks off. That
Right.
suits a woman's cycle the best, especially the week before your period. So women
Interesting.
are really creative, really talkative, really analytical, more like driven and everything. After once from pretty much like day 1 or day 2 from their cycle, from once you start bleeding. For the first half of your cycle, you're basically really like outward and confident, and then in the second half of your cycle, you start getting more sensitive inward, and you just kind of need to respect that feminine space. But it usually can turn into you being really aggressive, shouting and screaming at your loved ones. For some, I've seen so many women online talk about how like it's nearly affected their marriage. They have really bad cramps, like it makes you go literally insane. Some women even feel really depressed and like they can't cope with living anymore. And that's not normal.
Right.
And it's just because we're living like men. It doesn't mean that women can't do any good things in that period, but Dr. Mindy said a really good point. She's like, if you're trying to train for a marathon, you're doing a 9 to 5, you're being a mum, you're trying to take on organising a birthday party, and also, I don't know what other things, socialising. Before your period, that might be too much. You might only just be able to do work and family. Or for some women, it might be...
I mean, even that is a lot anyway.
Yeah, that is.
Like we always say this, like literally the role of a mum is just
it's hard enough.
constant. Like even just the emotional needs constantly.
But we've got brought up in a world now where like almost feminism is like about us being men, but we don't.
That was the hostile takeover.
Yeah.
Like that's exactly how so many things start, where it's like, yeah, it's got good intentions, and then actually it was just all one big orchestrated load of rubbish.
As we know, it's just not a trick of men to make us
of
not be
course.
women.
Yeah, it's really obvious.
Women are really powerful.
There is a lot of pushback against that now, though.
We're really creative.
Thankfully.
We're really powerful. We literally bring life into the world, but our bodies aren't men. Like we are not men. We're not made like that. But that doesn't mean that we're not like important. There's not a hierarchy. Men
Or
and
not
women are
equal.
here.
You don't
We're
need
not
to be the
equal,
same
yeah.
to be equal. That's the
No.
thing.
Men are here, women are here, and we all have different needs and wants. But like, it doesn't mean that to be like equal that we have to be the same. Like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like day and night, they're opposites.
Yeah.
But that's fine. Technically, men are actually in yin and yang. Men are the sun cycle, women are the moon cycle. That's how our bodies work.
Exactly. Nature was made perfectly, wasn't it?
Yeah, but anyway, it's been very empowering for me to learn about my cycle. I'm now 37. It's taken me this long to only start understanding it, which is pretty incredible. 4 babies later, and I've only just started to get a grasp on it. But I think this is amazing for any of you who are younger. You've got all of this information now to be able to help you. And then also for women, there's more and more information coming out for women who start the menopause, which is amazing, because that's an area where a lot of women are just forgotten about.
Yeah. We've got the wheelbarrow going
So
on.
Dr. Mindy does have books on the menopause as well. She's helped so many women during that, because that is a time of life where women experience a lot of emotional instability.
Right.
I know women in my family have been affected by it so much.
But don't you think that all of the artificial hormones obviously can't be good in that, whole scheme of
they resort
things?
to it because they feel so terrible.
No, but I mean even like birth control for people's whole life and stuff like that must affect things a lot.
Yeah, she talks about birth control
Yeah.
and how it affects your hormones.
What, in that podcast?
And in the book, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I knew the birth control wasn't ideal.
I haven't read the book and I didn't
know
watch the
actually
podcast
how,
with Georgie, by the way.
much it can impact your body.
I was in the office.
But yeah, I definitely see a huge shift coming, more understanding of women and like how, like apparently here in Spain, women can have 3 days off work when it's their period. You don't have to say if it's actually your period or not. Because Mindy said it's better to have 3 days off before your period than when you start it. Because she said that's the more sensitive time. But she said you can choose to have those 3 days off whenever you want. You don't have to say.
What did she say about the Spain thing?
Yeah, she mentioned it in the podcast.
No way, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because I remember when we learned about, we watched some documentary about how certain things, obviously everywhere in the whole world has got its pros and cons, blah, 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 very complex. Mm-hmm. But can you remember we watched that documentary years ago it was talking about how certain things were done in various parts of the world in comparison to America. It was made by like some American producers and they were kind of showing there's some amazing things we do in America, and then there's some not amazing things in comparison. And there was like, I think it was like a maternity leave was like not how places deal with like criminals, whether they go to some support place rather than a prison and all sorts of things like that, wasn't it?
Because Dr. Mindy and Stephen were saying, just because it's like coming up to a bit, you don't have to do any work, but you might choose to work at home, you might choose to do half the amount of work, you might not choose to do extra time. Like, none of this is about that we have to just suddenly sit down and be so weak. It's just about...
Yeah, I guess it's nice if you get a work from home option if your job, you know, can do that. That's basically only computer-based work, isn't it?
But she's just saying, like, at work, everyone should, like, at her place, she now shares when she's about to come on and when she's not with her work, and the other women are starting to share their apps with each other, so they can understand, like, oh, she's now about to come on her period, like, then they're more, like, kinder to her, like, as in, if she has a funny mood, you know why, and then you might not, like, I don't know, say if you had some really important bad news, you might not choose to give it to that person on that day, or say if you wanted to speak to someone about having a pay rise or some holiday leave or something, you could go and ask them during their time of the month when they're more conversational. Like, everything is human psychology. Everything is, and obviously your hormones really do affect your psychology. So, like... But
if everyone was in sync with nature, wouldn't they all have their cycle at the same time?
Yeah, I think women are meant to plead on...
Because I think that's... You know, like how even with nature, wouldn't they all have their cycle at the same time?
Yeah, I think women are meant to plead on...
Because I think that's... You know, like how even street lights are messing birds up? You know, like all birds... natural cycles that they have are messed up. You know, they're all like tweeting in the middle of the night and stuff like that because of the bright street lights. Obviously, all of those things are going to have an effect on humans as well, aren't
they? In the winter, we're meant to get more sleep. We're meant to have more rest in the winter because the sun goes down. So you eat dinner earlier, you go to bed more. In the summer, you're meant to work more because you've got longer hours in the day. Guess when people have most of their holiday leave? In the summer. Right. When that's for our bodies, that's when we're meant to do more work. And the winter is when we're meant to have more rest. Is that because we're charged
by the sun? It's got to have a big impact.
Well, she's saying like when you're in tune with the sun, the rhythm. That's in the summer because the days are longer. You've got more time to work. You're more charged. It's like when everything needs like planting and fruiting and stuff.
Oh, here you go. I'll give you some homework, everybody. If you're still listening to this is not to do with periods. Yeah. But I'll give you some homework. Look up Circadian biology and learn as much as you can about that, and also look up quantum biology and learn as much as you can about that. It's basically just being in natural rhythms with nature and the way that our bodies and minds were designed, and just by following those principles, like by just utilising sunlight, etc., is amazing.
Just imagine a world where women, it's set up enough, and if pay and wages were more fair, childcare was more fair, or like there's more of a community feel. And actually, when it was your period, like you could just choose to do what you wanted and not be like trying to go through the day, feeling like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. Like it'd just be so nice. I think it's the pressure. It's the idea that you can't choose to take some time to relax. I think it's sometimes the pressure women have is what makes us feel stressed, the mental pressure. Yeah. Sometimes the to-do list, which is really massive, is what causes a lot of stress. Yeah,
but realistically, like you hear things about how I can't remember exactly what it was, so I'm going to get this stat wrong, but it's like in the 1950s or whatever it was, usually the man, one parent went to work and just did like a 35-hour week or 30-hour week or whatever, and that was enough to finance a whole family, like a wife, 4 children, a car, a house. So realistically, what's changed since then? That's what it comes down to. Like obviously our purchasing power with our money, how money's been devalued.
So the lamp in the ground. I just literally did like 30 minutes and I was only going to do 20.
Well done.
But yeah, I just see the future as being, well, the world is going to be set up for men and women. Yeah. And there's going to be like, nice cycles for women. Like we might have, like rather than like a yearly annual leave, there might be some leave time each month that you choose to take, like here. And like more help, like I just feel like it's not quite set up really for women. It's like the whole workplace and things like that is just more for men.
Yeah, of course it is.
Because we really want to contribute to the world. We actually want to do stuff, and it's good to have like goals and aspiration, but just it's not. It feels so stressful, and it feels like we're having to choose between our kids and our family and work and everything, just because. Like, it's just not set up in a fair way for so many different reasons, and it doesn't have to be like that. Like, I feel like as women, I like to do little mini projects. I don't want to like work every single day. It'd be nice if like for 2 weeks in a month you got to work on a project or whatever you wanted to do, and then the other 2 months you got to more self-care, feminine era.
Yeah.
Sorry, the music.
No, I'm turning it down.
Yeah. So.
What that is though is everything has to run its course. So like, as in when anything new happens, it has to run whatever length of course it needs for people to then be able to assess it. So like, you know, fast food chains come out and like, you know, all the pictures what are inside, you know, when you see those old fashioned pictures inside Burger King and McDonald's, and it's like, it makes it look so nice, like the drive-through diner look with the old fashioned cars and all that, and everybody looks in really good healthy shape and all that type of thing. That's because it was new and nobody knew what it did. And so then it has to run its course, so then people can be like, oh, actually, maybe that wasn't a good idea. So it's probably the same as like everything you're speaking about. There were like new ideas, and then it has to run its course before everyone can make a fair assessment of like whether it's a good idea or not.
Sorry.
Like if people have been doing this, what you're doing, for, I don't know, 20 years, and then you started seeing after 20 years that people have really ruined joints and things like that, you wouldn't know when people first started it. So you wouldn't know if it's good for joints long term until people have done it long term. But then once people have done things long term, then you can assess fairly and be like, oh, hang on, maybe it was good, maybe it wasn't good. You know, smoking, fast food, etc., etc.
Sorry. Already I'm self-conscious. I haven't squatted with this using that at home.
No, it's good having it in here, just not too close to the
Yeah,
glass.
so normally at the gym I do really heavy weights. Because it's coming up with my period, I'm just going to do some light weights, because I kind of like that feeling when you give your muscles a bit of a pump. They're not going to disappear. It takes a long time for them to disappear, but I just like the idea that I'm still stimulating them a little bit, but not too bad.
Yeah. Well done. Good chat. Good workout.
Yeah.
Check out this dinner, Fizz Fam. I'm going to call this the Family Fizz Fun Bowl.
It's epic, Mum. Oh my god, this tastes so good. Oh, it kind of reminds me of almost something like you get from Nando's.
Yeah.
That's what it's giving me. Yeah.
So
But like a million times better.
guess what, guys? I've made some herby tofu inspired by the on the screens. I looked online, and their tofu is made out of organic tofu, cilantro, lime, and green chili and garlic. And we didn't have green chili. And I'm pretty sure they used olive oil, but we didn't have green chili. Theirs was more like coated, so I've got to improve the recipe. But I tried to replicate
really good,
it.
Though. Oh, and the coleslaw, Mum.
And I made that coleslaw again.
The coleslaw's really good.
By the way, everything looks so colourful, like the food, Mia's top and hair, and then all the background. It's a really sunny, summery day, isn't it? Some good fuel before you go to gymnastics, isn't it?
I've got dance today.
Oh, nice. But this is a bit more of a fresher meal, Fizz Fam. So we've got baked potatoes in the oven. Sienna made this amazing guacamole, so it's mashed avocado and also lime juice. I made the herby tofu, which I just told you how we made. We've got some kimchi I bought from the store. Sienna made this kale salad with goji and massaged curly kale. You have to massage it with your hands, don't you, Sienna? Even vegetables deserve a spa day. And then we've got this creamy coleslaw I made using full fat, like coconut yogurt with loads of like veggies in it from the garden.
Gave it a deep tissue sports massage.
Yeah, they did, because you even asked the kale, what kind of mood are you feeling today? A gentle massage or a deep tissue?
Sports.
Yeah. I said to Senna, yeah, you do have to ask the kale, because you don't know what kind of mood it's in, do you? But I feel like the dinosaur kale,
Reflexology.
that needs a deep tissue sports massage. And
Maybe it
curly
doesn't
kale.
want a massage, maybe it wants acupuncture.
Yeah, you never know.